always leave me after you start it.
I'm not leaving you after I start it. And we're started.
Oh, you didn't start
What is going on, everyone? So we're gonna give it a moment for everybody to start tuning in. I'm gonna grab me a glass of water real quick, and then we'll dive into our discussion for the day. Shannon, how are you feeling about today's topic?
I'm excited.
Good.
Yeah.
Me too. I think
it's great.
Yeah, it's a good day.
Yeah.
So just give me one moment, and Shannon is, if she wants to say something, like keep you guys entertained for a second. Yeah? No? Maybe? Okay.
What? I really wish you'd stop putting me on the spot.
Sorry.
You know, this whole thing is just supposed to be a conversation, and you know, if it's a one-sided conversation, I'm really not sure what I'm supposed to say because no one's answering me and no replying to me. So I'm kind of just chilling here by myself, watching Matt get water and leave me and abandon me, and let the dog drink out of the cooler again, which I'm really not happy about.
Apollo. No.
So there we have it.
Ben. Yeah, I just need me a couple, 2 or 3 glasses of water. Did some sweating out there today.
It wasn't even that hot, it's just muggy. Hey, Indigenous!
Yeah, it wasn't too hot. Hey, what's up, Indigenous? Wasn't too bad out there.
Oh no, but it was really muggy. It was awful.
I can feel it creeping up though, but I'm more excited about it getting warmer than I was about cold weather.
Matthew.
What's up, Matt?
Don't even think about it, buddy. He just went chomp chomp.
What's he doing? Is he about to bark?
Yeah, he went chomp chomp.
I feel bad for Apollo. Just a little bit, not so much. I don't feel that bad.
I feel bad until he's like...
He does something annoying?
Not annoying, but like when he does something he knows he's not supposed to.
Right. I mean, we need to give him a bath. What is going on?
That's gonna be fun.
His scratching. I think he just needs a bath.
Well, yeah, we went to the beach.
Yeah, we were a little drained and didn't really get a chance to give him a bath, really.
Of course, this dog is not going to ever be a water dog.
No, that's very disappointing, too.
I know, but he is a car dog.
Oh, he's very much a car dog.
He gets angry at the winds outside the window.
Yeah, he sticks his head out the window and bites at the air and barks. It's pretty funny. He just started doing that, too. So it's still cute to us. A couple, 2 or 3 years down the road, kind of like, I don't know, it'll probably still be cute, but
the novelty of worn off.
Yeah, the newness of it.
Impossible company. Oh, all right. So we've already got announcements. So how long have we been on here?
Announcements.
All right, Indigenous. We'll make the announcement after we switch over in 1 minute.
Yes, I'm just gonna pull up the chat real quick so I can see who's all saying what, and then I think we got enough people tuned in. We'll
the Impossible
turn the cameras
Company
on.
Is asking where we are. Where are we?
What now?
He's like, where are all you guys? Where are y'all? Excuse me. I can't see you.
Yeah, we tend to just kind of hold for a moment until we got enough people tuned in, interacting, because initially when we first tune in, there's it takes a hot minute for people to
Sunny, yo,
tune in, really.
Yeah, I liked it better when I just didn't appear at all.
Why is that? Any particular reason? You just don't like being on camera, huh?
I really don't.
That's all right. We're going to slowly make that not a thing. Kind of desensitize you to it. Don't you think? Do you feel like that would ever happen?
Nah.
No?
Mm.
Nah.
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 No.
Nah.
Alright, well, it's 7:05.
Okay, just give me 1 second. I'm pulling out the chat here, and then I'm going to close this window. And okay, well, I am ready, and I believe Shanna's ready, so let's get this party started.
He's gonna knock it.
It's all right. What's up, everybody? Matt here. Shannon is holding it down over
No.
that away. And so, Shannon, you mentioned that there's some
Yes.
comments here, or
Mm-hmm.
so let's see. We got Indigenous. I know Shannon said that. Matthew, what's going on, everybody? Robert Bartosh, what's up? What's up, y'all?
Actually, he is a new screen printer in East Texas.
Oh,
Ink and
cool.
Ink. Oh, that's so cute.
What is up?
Okay,
Impossible
so we've got some
Co,
announcements.
hello.
We got an announcement from Indigenous, and by the way, hi Jason. Let's see, drum. It's already gone.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Okay, so he's got his local tribe cultural center pre-ordering the shirts that he's going to be selling during the Memorial Weekend.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
They're going to be selling the shirts after he's done. Yay!
Oh, cool.
Whee!
Congratulations. That's awesome. Let us know keep us updated on that, because I assume it's going to be all the graphics that you had sent over to us to take a look at, and Shannon and I thought they were really great.
Yeah, I like.
I think they're awesome. I see them doing really well. So love the color schemes that you got going on there. They look really good. So.
Okay. Hi, Mr. Silva. He's in. I'm not going to try to even pronounce any of this, but something in Brazilian. Sonny went ahead and did the DBA.
Oh, did you?
It's awesome.
Awesome. Good job.
Congrats. Moving on up, starting everything, getting it rolling. It's awesome.
DBA. Yeah, speaking of, I'm thinking about doing a little video. Some videos for those that are starting up, and perhaps some of you guys out there that have a business going but don't have a DBA lined up. And kind of do a video walking you guys through the process and kind of all the little things you need to get your business going.
Yeah,
have it legit.
Like one of the things, like we've been dealing with a lot of people that have been trying to start their own clothing lines lately.
Yeah, and getting that resale certificate and all that.
Yeah, and I'm begging them. I'm like, look, just do this. I don't benefit from you giving us tax.
If anything, it's a little bit more of a headache, because then we get that tax money in, and then we've got to send it off to send it off to Texas,
so
basically.
I've been like begging some of them, because that guy Denzel,
right,
the one that turned 12 shirts into a $300 profit. And within days, and I'm like, I want to shake him. I'm like, get your.
Was that you or the dog?
Can I reach it from there? That was the dog. But I just want to wring his neck. I'm like, dude, you have to get this. I promise. You're gonna. Yeah. Anyway, so the Impossible Company did his first big order with a homemade press and a heat gun and a heat press. How big was the order?
Yeah, how big was the order in homemade press?
We need details.
I'm curious about the homemade press, because that's how I started out, with the homemade one color wooden press. It was the most awful thing ever, but it worked. It worked with enough tweaking and all that. And I don't say that in the sense that it was awful starting out that way. Just learning screen printing and having the learning curve of a homemade press definitely made things a little more difficult trying. It made for I wouldn't change it whatsoever, because it allowed me to have a press for $25. So
and
that's
started
cool.
The whole thing. So
yeah, I wanted to print my own shirts, and here we are printing other people's shirts.
Yep. And apparently he was able to knock out 22 of them. That's awesome. Congrats.
Yeah, that's cool. I think the first order I did was my own, and it was like 12 shirts.
Mm-hmm.
And those were all pre-order sales type stuff. And then after that, immediately someone said, "Hey, can you do 24 shirts, golden yellow on navy, one color front, one color back?" And oh, that was a disaster because I got ink all over the place. I just didn't know how to control the squeegee quite right, and I was still curing things with a hair dryer. And let's just say that I ended up redoing. I didn't make anything off of that, which was a little frustrating because I was pretty strapped for money, and that was. I was excited to make a little extra cash, and what I ended up getting was a learning experience instead.
Well, it still got the ball rolling.
It did.
Okay. Well, apparently he has a YouTube channel as well. It's on his YouTube.
Oh, do
you? Might
you?
have to check it out.
What's the YouTube channel? Is it your handle, your username here? Is it Shannon? Sorry, I haven't been. The Impossible?
Mm-hmm.
The Impossible Co? Okay. Sorry, I've been looking at OBS over here and really hadn't looked at the chat, but I'll go over and subscribe. Go over and get her subscribe on.
Ralph, I'm just never going to get this stuff right. So, Ralph, he wants to know, you put a yellow emulsion. What kind is it?
Oh, the emulsion that I use?
You said it's yellow?
No. The emulsion that I've been using is Ulano Orange. The other emulsion is TZ emulsion. That one's a little bit more towards the green side.
Oh.
I could see how it could be confused as yellow because the mesh of the screen is yellow. But so those are the two that I use. I use the... Did he just about knock you over, Shannon?
He keeps walking over to my legs, and he thought I was eating my legs. Stop it, Apollo.
So, Ulano Orange and then Ulano TZ Emulsion. The orange I use for just kind of solid, simple stuff that doesn't have any kind of halftones in it. And then the TZ I use for halftone work. So, that's what works for me. That's where I've stopped. I've tried quite a bit, and
isn't
those
that because
two.
You got a 5-gallon bucket?
Yeah, but you know it is because I got a 5-gallon bucket, like by accident, because we ordered 1 gallon. They sent us a 5-gallon bucket of the orange emulsion, but I'm glad they did because I gave it a shot and I like it more than the emulsion I was using before because. The emulsion I was using before it was a little tackier with our climate, it being humid here in Houston, and so it happened to just be one of those things that ended up working out by proxy, I guess.
All right. Well, the Impossible says it's you guys that motivates us.
You can do it.
I'm sorry, I've been talking all day. MYFB says he hates the Ulana Orange. He never had any luck with it. He loves his Chroma Blue by Chromaline.
Yeah, I hear a lot of good things about the Chromaline Blue. I don't think I've tried it, although I do know that Harry, who, if you guys know the backstory with Harry, he used it and he liked it quite a bit. I'll give it a try one of these days. I think I just need to get a hold of my vendor and ask them to give me a sample of it, so that way I can give it a shot. But you know, it's kind of like one of those if it's not broke, don't fix it situations. And where we're at this point, just trying different emulsions for the sake of experimentation. I might have to wait until tell slow season to start
That
doing
would
some of
just
that.
negate like everything we've done like to speed up the production.
Yeah, so because we production wise are so used to the results and know what to expect with what we've been using, to give a new emulsion a shot at this time just kind of really would throw a wrench in things. I'm sure it would be fine. I've gotten other emulsions, coated screens with the emulsion. It's a little different. Sometimes the results are different, but everything's dialed in fairly well with the emulsion that we're using, our setup and everything. Like if I went to someone else's shop and I used their equipment and their emulsion and all that, I probably wouldn't, it'd take me a moment to get a handle of it and get used to the feel of the equipment, the emulsion, supplies, all that stuff. So, I mean, they all do the same thing. They get you from A to B, but, you kind of get used to your setup and everything.
All right. Well,
go ahead, Shannon.
no, keep going if you're not finished.
No, I'm finished. That was about it.
Okay. Well, Ralph again wants to know if it's from Ryanette, and I'll let you answer.
Was what from Ryanette? The emulsion?
Yeah.
No. You can get that emulsion just about anywhere. You can even get it on Amazon. You can take a look at our some of our videos. We have links down in the description as to where you can buy that on Amazon. But for the most part, any screen print supplier generally, well, you got to find one that has Elano. But
okay, so Sonny, he says on a for real question.
Mm-hmm.
If he came down to Texas in a few months for a day or two, could he hang out with us at the shop and try to get some more tricks?
Yeah, you're more than...
Please come. We'll grill for you. We bought a grill, apparently.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to come hang out. Just keep in mind that we are getting work done during the day. We do enjoy talking about screen printing, and even if you kind of wanted to shadow us and just kind of hang out and give us a hand, that'd be great. Just know that we're working, and if for whatever reason we just kind of have to just keep, not for whatever reason, I mean we have to get things done during the day, so you're more than welcome to come hang out and help us get those things accomplished, and then you can kind of pick my brain and vice versa. Just kind of share experiences and techniques, maybe. I mean, everybody does things a little differently. Everybody has their own way of getting the end result, or I might learn something from you. I mean, you never know. So, but you're more than welcome to swing by, and I will teach you as much as I know in those 2 days.
Okay, so the Impossible Company, or Impossible Co., whatever.
I think I just subscribed.
But he wants to know if we're in Houston. Why, yes, we are.
We are in Houston, and by the way, I subscribe to your channel.
West side.
No, we're on the northeast side of town, Humble. We're basically in Humble.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I left, right.
Anyways, we're that away. We're off of that away and this way.
I go that way to go to Tomball. That's what I can tell you.
That way street and this way road is the one we're off of. So
CT Apparel said, and oh, by the way, I do want to get to this one question I promised we would ask from the phone.
Yeah, but, sure. What is it?
But what? No. Just give me a sec, because I was starting with CT first, please. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Okay. He said our used Anatol auto fell through due to the supplier not being able to get it running to 100%. So they said, and I wouldn't say it like this, but he said, F it. And, and he pulled the trigger on a new Workforce Freedom Express. and he loves the flashback feature.
A new Workhorse Freedom Express. Awesome. You know what? That is the press that I wanted to go for. And I think it would have been fine for our needs here. Even even with the press that we have here, we did have to get automatic screens and all that. And I know you can do the 20 by 28 on the Freedom, but it's such a cool little machine, and it's definitely got a smaller footprint than ours. But I mean, you're still doing the same thing on your press that we're doing on ours, except you got some really cool features. The flashback, absolutely love the flashback. I was talking to someone at another print shop. I went to go visit them today, and he was picking my brain about Separation Studio on all that because he saw the video of the 6-color spot process, the Patriot design, and he talked about how with their M&R having their flash on the second station, which is to be expected with these other presses, and how sometimes if they needed to get a really bright white underbase, they would have to let it go around. And one of the things I was telling him was, and I was like, I think we've done that maybe once or twice. And that's just because it's out of sheer just simplicity of setting things up with one screen and letting it go around rather than doing two screens, which is generally how we do a white. We have our white base and then a white highlight. But that's only if we have a second color in there where we need a white base. So anyways, he was surprised that the flashback on these presses, that in the same station, same head, and not lose a head, that you can print flash the base. He's like, really? On the same, like he couldn't grasp the concept because he's used to the M&R so much so towards where I'm like, yeah, it tables up, it prints, it tables down, and then it flashes, and then it tables up, prints, tables down, and flashes again. He's like, yeah, but like on the next station? I'm like, no, right there underneath the screen, the flash shuttles out and flashes the ink. He's like, huh, well, that must be pretty awesome. I was like, yeah, it's awesome because, like, say, for instance, they have a 12-color press, so technically they can only do about 8 colors off of it because you have to flash at one station, cool down, but they tend to run 10 colors. They'll flash at a couple stations, but they're not exactly running that thing at a crazy speed or anything like that. So, and it was cool seeing their shop too. So, congrats, man. That's an awesome press. That was you can ask Shannon. I got quotes on multiple presses before we did the automatic.
Hey, you can't ask me. You didn't tell me anything about it. You were like, hey, I found one. I'm like, all right.
Well, yeah, I did.
Glad we talked about it.
But we did talk about it because I showed you the quotes, remember? You remember me showing you the quotes?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, my God. See, that's why there wasn't a whole lot of talk about it. It's just because you're like, I don't. It didn't really.
I can't
affect you a whole lot, or there wasn't.
Oh, it affects me.
No, I understand it affects you, but like in the sense that you weren't losing sleep over whether or not to get a new one or.
No, I trusted you to make the right decision.
What used model to get if you got to use one?
My advice would have been absolutely useless, so I trusted you to make the right decision.
You are correct.
I'd be more irritated if you weren't correct on that. Anyways, so hi, Ronnie. So they're talking about making Sonny an intern, and he's like, yeah, he would totally do some apprenticeship work with us. He's a worker. Yeah. And then the Impossible says, make him sweep the shop. Our part-timer won't even sweep the shop.
Dude, if you went above and beyond and actually swept the
toilet, he's like, I don't do that.
Swept the shop, that would blow us away because, like Shannon was saying, our one of our other helpers that comes in maybe once a week to do screens, and there's been times we'll have him come in and help with bigger jobs, and he'll actually,
On your bed.
I'll ask him. He's like, "So is there anything else I can do?" And I'll be loading and unloading the press, and depending on the job that we have going on, it might not be going fast enough to just have him standing around and unloading a shirt. So I'm like, yeah, you can. There's other things you can do. You can sweep the shop floor. You can wipe down some equipment. You can go and clean the toilet. Jokingly saying that, I wouldn't expect him to, but sweeping the shop floor. I mean, come on. If he really, wanted to put it in a little more time and did sweep the floor and whatnot, then that would open the door up to having him here, because it'd be more useful because he can help us get us some of the daily tasks done around here.
To be fair, though, he did message us.
Did he message us today? Dog's drinking out of the.
I love that so much. It's not funny.
The water cooler over there, so it's got the little catch thing down that away, and so some water will drip down in there, and he just thinks that it's okay for him to go over there and drink it.
Yeah, because you're so discouraging.
Yeah.
Anyways.
We clean it out.
Anyways, though, to be fair, though, Panda did get us, a 200 front and back long sleeve order plus 50 hats today.
So that's like a for sure thing, though.
Yeah.
Okay, and as we were talking about
all I gotta do is
earlier today, I said, well, maybe he would be better off on the sales end, and then we could pay him a commission.
Well, I don't know. You never know. We're growing one thing at a time, as we're going to talk about later.
I know that it's not like, hey, let's just hire him on, but like to give him an incentive of, hey, if you bring in a sale, maybe we can give him a 10% cut or something like that.
That's the thing. He's always trying to bring in sales.
I know, but
he feels without loyalty.
But yes, this is true. But if he were getting paid for it, how much more motivated would he be? He doesn't even have to come into the office. He can just contact his band people and be like, hey, this people I work for, they do a great job with shirts and they got great prices. Get some shirts.
All right. Well, anyways, sweeping the floor would be amazing.
Yes.
Okay, first off, Jason, hi again. And Jason, I swear to God, I have emailed you. I have asked for a quote with a message in it. I have messaged you on Facebook. I need you to send me your address, please. I have tried 3 different ways. I actually went through the whole damn quote thing, asking on your website. And then by the end of it, like filling out all the answers, like what do you do? I don't know, 15 by 12 or something or whatever. And by the end, I was like, damn it, Jason, I don't need a quote. I just need your address. This is the shop note. So give me your address, please.
Still no address.
I have a present for you.
Still no Addy?
No Addy. Everybody else has one, but it's okay because we can't remember to buy stamps. So.
The envelope. Hey,
yeah, and then he poured water on everything.
No, I accidentally knocked over some water on it. And to be honest, so we're setting everything up, and then I accidentally knocked over a cup of water. Did I take what? It's right there behind the computer.
Well, it's not supposed to be off the charger, darling.
Hold on, my shade is looking very yellow. Okay, there we go. That's better. I need to get a different camera over here now, Shannon. Since you're a permanent part of this show.
I'm permanent?
Yeah. Aren't you? Don't you enjoy being on camera?
Not at all.
Don't you like? Yeah, you do. You like it. You enjoy. Okay, you don't like it. However, here we are. That's all there is to it. Anyways, moving on.
Okay,
before I change your mind on things.
One telephone thing, but they're coming in faster than I can keep up with, honestly. Ralph wants to know, the paper we use for registration for the screens, where did you get it, or did you make your own? I think he means the film.
The paper?
He says paper, but I think he just means the film.
Film? Are you
Down.
are you talking about the film, the transparency film that we use, or what we do test prints with?
Oh, the Palon?
Yeah,
test Palon?
let me know in the chat which of the two. Just to answer your question without you having even to type that in, but the Pelons that we get, we actually just got a big box of Pelons from the company that I bought my press from, the automatic. They don't use them, so they're like, here, take these Pelons. You can get them on Amazon. Just type in Pelons, screen printing test Pelons. They'll come up. And then the film, if you go over to one of our videos, and actually this film has gone down, guys, and this is what we use. It's gone down to just under $51. So, it's about 51 cents per piece of film. And I can't really tell the difference between this film and the stuff that is like stuff that Ulano sells for twice that much.
Use the link below to find it.
Yeah, I'll post that link in the chat here in a moment once I find it. But yeah, I just get it off of Amazon, to be honest. That's one of a few things that I do get off of Amazon.
Okay.
Actually, there's quite a bit of stuff we get off Amazon. They have some pretty good prices on some stuff.
Some of the stuff, but they're destroying the world.
Oh yeah.
Well, they are.
Anyhow.
Okay, so Oristar, yes we do.
What is it?
A11 hot sauce. Sunny, I actually
A1 hot sauce?
Yeah, I actually considered moving to the Greenspoint area at one point because I was so dead set on hardwood flooring. I found a condo there that was actually affordable with hardwood flooring, and I was like, rape and murder, hardwood flooring. Okay, and then I ended up making an inquiry, and it all got destroyed in the 2016 flood. Anyways,
does Sonny live in Greenspoint, or
he used to live in Spring in the Greenspoint area, but it wasn't a great place to raise a family. But they always have that carnival there. Okay, I'm like seriously only halfway through this. So Greg wants to know what a flashback is.
So a flashback is. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm sorry. Okay. I got that link posted now. Anyhow, so a flashback is basically it's a flash that is bolted to the head, or some of them are. I think they're on a stand now where you can roll them around. I know some of them bolt up to the actual arm of the screen printing head for an automatic, and so it allows you to screen print and flash on the same print head. So you're not losing a print head to a flash for an automatic type of situation. So your press will print the design that you have. Let's say you're white, for instance, and then here's your screen that's being printed. Your table goes up, and your squeegee runs across the shirt and the screen. It goes down, and so your flashback goes in between both the palette and the screen, and will actually flash the ink. And it's kind of like a shuttle flash, basically. That's what it is. So it physically moves out from the end of the print head and over your print, the flashed ink. And not only that, but it also has fans in it to cool the ink down as well. So that way, you're not, when you go to print at your next station, like one of the things, sometimes an automatic setup, depending on how fast you're going, you have to have an empty station for that flashed ink to just cure down before you can print on top of it. Otherwise, it will just stick to the screen, or your ink will actually come off onto the bottom of the screen. So that's the best way I can go about explaining it. If you do a search on YouTube, you'll find plenty of videos on Flashback. Also, you can go over to our videos as well with some of the videos that we've done using the automatic press, and I have video of our Flashback going to work. Sometimes we use 2 flashes depending on the job. Stretch.
While he's doing that, okay, Mr.
Sorry.
Bertain.
I forgot that was on just
it's called
me.
Berry Berry. It's really actually vape juice, promise. I don't actually smoke. It makes me anxious. Just vape juice
THC.
because I used to smoke a hell of a lot of cigarettes. I used to smoke a pack and a half a day, and this is a better cure for it. Let's see. And Jason, no, I don't. Matt has this thing about every couple months he just deletes everything in the emails.
What now?
And we got a new system. He said we have his address because we sent things to him. But when we have a new system, Matt deletes months worth of emails, and I'm trying to figure out where anything is.
Well,
so
our email eventually
I'm
gets full. Did he send it?
No, he said he's because we sent him stuff before. So no, I don't have it. Anyways.
I'll find it.
All right.
I don't.
Uproar!
Trying to think. If it was over 3 months ago, then
yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, because for whatever reason, I don't know. I need to figure that out. But we get a crap ton of emails with people sending artwork, and then eventually our mailbox gets full pretty quick. And
yeah,
especially
I just go with the new system.
Yeah, I go and get rid of the old stuff that's just taking up a lot of our email space.
Okay, MYFB says, here's a business question. Do you guys give wholesale/contract pricing to employees or not? LOL. Shop I worked at gives employees wholesale pricing so they could bring orders in. Nope. Hannah doesn't order enough for that, and it's not for him. He doesn't even it's all for his band.
No, we do not do wholesale pricing for. Well, Panda's part-time. He comes in, depending on how often we need him, at least once a week, generally. Sometimes we might skip a week.
If it was more consistent, like the orders were coming in more consistently,
right?
Maybe we talk about it.
We with Panda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's another thing as well, is if, like, say for instance, as Shannon was bringing up, if he brought in. If he were doing more shirts with us, then we definitely would consider it. We make quite a bit of our profit in order to fund everything by marking up the blank. So, doing wholesale printing, like for us, I mean, it kind of is, but it isn't, in the sense that, I mean, we're not selling the shirts to him at $15 or $20 a shirt. They're generally somewhere around the $6-7 mark.
And I'll work with them if they need to be at a certain place.
Yeah, I mean, we sometimes get it down to the $5 range, so that way he can charge 10. And so, I mean, that is wholesale pricing in a sense, but not contract pricing. If that makes sense. Contract pricing, like we just charge for printing, and it's up to whomever we're doing contract printing with to provide the art, to provide the shirts, to provide all the details. That way it takes as little work as possible to get from taking their artwork onto getting on the press and out the door.
And some of our contract clients, we are still working on, because no one told us that we were going to be unpackaging.
Yeah, that has been so.
And then quality control, like just on the blanks themselves.
Right. So one of the things about one of our contract screen printing clients is that we're having to unwrap like every single shirt because of the type. It's more safety stuff for construction and all that, the safety vest, the jackets, all that stuff. And we're unwrapping them, and not only that, but if there's like a little bit of dirt or something from the factory on there, we're supposed to notify her. And we did that, and we ended up taking the hit on that, which I do not know why she charged us for it. I'm like, what? We didn't fucking make them. All we did was print them. I mean, don't get me wrong.
That's supposed to be our early job. Like,
they
should come to us prepped.
Don't get me wrong. And no offense, Beth, if you're watching this, we love you.
She's not. But we do love her.
But so in other words, what we need to be doing, we need to be taking things into consideration. I know initially, like out of the gate, we don't know how the working relationship is until we get going, and then at that point, we do need to kind of readjust and reevaluate how much we're charging. So that way, we're not losing money.
Because Panda and I spent over 2 hours unpackaging.
Was it 2 hours?
Over.
Good loud.
Yeah, that was with 2 of us. Of course, he's a panda, so he's kind of slow. Orange Star, this is not a running April Fool's joke. We're not fighting. Am I coming off as bitchy?
No, not at all.
Okay, just checking.
I don't know what that means. He's just giving you
a running April Fool's joke. I'm like,
he's just
like we're fighting.
He's just giving you a hard time. That's all it is.
Okay. Well,
you know how like when someone likes you, they give you a little bit of a hard time just to kind of pull your chain. That's what that is.
Okay. Well, Jason, I'm sorry to hear about that. I'll stop harassing you.
What happened?
I'm not gonna say. It's not like we need to be announcing it.
What happened?
Knock it off.
Okay.
Test. Oh, and Ralph was talking about test prints.
Test prints, yeah. So Pelons is what we use, or T-shirts that we have boogered up, and we seem to never run out of those because we do make mistakes. It's great when things go smooth and we do not have extra shirts on our hands, but we make mistakes here and there, and sometimes it just happens to be bigger orders, and so we're set on blank test shirts for quite some time. So
yeah.
Anyhow,
oops, that was my bad. Oh, actually, no, it was both our bad because you couldn't find them either.
What was our bad?
The 2XL order. Yeah.
No.
I don't know what happened, but suddenly they magically reappeared after I.
That was more of a bonus than it was an oops, because
and they gave us a whole new case of 2XLs because I couldn't find them, and then the next day I just went, oh, well there they are.
Oh yeah.
Oops. I felt really bad. I didn't know what to do. I'm not even gonna say which vendor it was from. Okay, so Ronnie. He says he tried to get hired at a shop, and the guy just wanted him to treat him like a free intern. Tried to get him organized and made him t-shirt designs. Worked with him on his days off, and he never got paid.
You didn't get paid at all? Like nothing? You didn't get paid anything at all?
Oh, it's Sunny.
Man, sorry. Ran into that situation. Yeah. I would have. I don't know. I mean, sometimes there is a benefit to putting in work, and if you're expecting it to be like an internship kind of thing, because that can help grow a business and help grow it into a full-time position. But I mean, yeah, I mean some sort of compensation. Like even when I went to the art school, at least at the end of the internship, there was a sweet little check. By the end of it, technically it was an unpaid internship.
Well, I went to an unpaid internship. The only thing I ever got was $50, and I went for an entire semester, and I had to pay $4 a day in parking. I got one $50 check for the compensate for parking. I don't think if you do the math, $50 doesn't really cover that.
Yeah, that's one of them situations where it's just kind of like you're paying to get that education, that experience, and it was a necessity
I
for.
wasn't a very good intern.
Is a requirement so you can get your degree, right?
Me?
Like
no, mine was just for business stuff, like just for my resume, because I was planning on studying legal or civil law.
Oh, well.
And I worked for a criminal defense attorney.
In that case, just lie on your resume.
I think
Actually, I don't recommend doing that.
Well, it didn't really. It was neither here nor there because by then I decided I didn't want to be a lawyer. So there's that. And
That's true.
Sonny says he uses the film that we linked. He loves it.
Good.
Greg agrees with me at Amazon destroying the world.
Yeah, that's a whole nother show though. That we could go on about that.
It has nothing to do with screen printing though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're kind of destroying the world as screen printers. We got a lot of waste. There is a lot of waste when it comes to screen printing. All
right, now it's getting a little political. All right, well, Sonny says he doesn't need a job, just wants tips and trick. I've been talking all day, guys. I'm sorry. I can do this. Tips and tricks. He follows Matt's work and he seems hella cool.
Tricks with tits?
Someone willing to help learn. Yeah, tits and tricks. It's not Halloween. All right, Jason. I'll keep an eye out for that.
Like I said, feel free to stop by and we'll teach you some tips and tricks. So
the Impossible said the safety vest looks like they were a pain. Physically,
oh my God.
Actually physically.
No, I really enjoyed like once we got everything up to speed and having like myself loading and Panda unloading.
It was miserable for me.
But the thing is that ink just goes right down to the palette, and so we ruined maybe 10 to a dozen of them initially getting things going and pulling them up. And because Panda's a little, he's inexperienced and kind of letting that vest kind of drag in that ink a little bit. Because I told him, I was like, hey, look, be careful. The ink's going to go down on the palette. Do not, pull it up, pull the vest up and don't let it drag in the ink. So, but even doing 450 of them that way, it just wasn't a good solution. So we had to stop and had to turn the flash on and just let it flash every single print that was going through. So
well, I'm going to need gloves for the next time. My fingers actually...
And Shannon's hands hurt after the fact.
They were burned. Like actually burned.
Yeah, they got pretty warm. Not too warm that they got melted, but
are we talking about my fingers or the vest?
So the vest. Whom was it that got the automatic with the flashback?
CT.
Okay, so CT. One little.
I could be pulling that out of nowhere.
Sorry. Shannon's reading these comments, so. For me to like make the connection, sometimes I have to actually physically see these things. But CT, one thing you want to keep in mind with your flash is to make sure you don't have, like, say for instance, if you're doing a back print, if the little tag in the shirt's making the shirt stick up a little bit, make sure that it's completely flat, because if that thing gets too close to that flashback, it will scorch it. Also, the other thing to keep an eye out for, test pellons, you have to tape those down in order for test pellon to work.
Matt set them on fire.
Yeah, because that flashback, because it does have those cooling fans, has a tendency to blow that pellon up. And then, even if it's just the corners, that flashback will go over it and then catch one of those ends and catch those test pellons on fire.
We should probably get a fire extinguisher.
And last but not least, just kind of keep an eye on your hoodies as well, setting your off contact properly, because the pockets that stick up. So anything that's sticking up, we have ours adjusted towards where it's, probably maybe 3/4 to an inch away from the palette, and it just flashes it really quick. But if you have a hoodie with some the pull strings and the pocket and all that, you can burn your garment. So just keep an eye out for that.
Okay, Ryan wants to know what happens if you have a flaw when contract printing. You can't be responsible to replace garments, right?
Repeat that one more time.
What happens if you have a flaw when contract printing? You can't be responsible to replace garments, right?
So if the shirts are, if there's something wrong with the shirts, then no, then
But you have to catch it.
we're not responsible. I mean, it'd be good customer service wise to say, hey, these shirts did have a hole, or if, like, let's say for instance, if it was an order of like 500 shirts and there was one or two that had a factory defect, then we have a clause where it's 2 to 3% spoilage and damage, and that's even us on the printing end of things.
Well, isn't the clause like 2 to 3 spoilage on our part? We're not responsible for any manufacturer damage.
Right, and the flip, if we go over that, then we're responsible to fix those, and that's not going to be every situation, because it might be something where every single person on, let's say, 150 t-shirt order from a school, every one of those students or kids at an elementary school has paid their 25 or 35 bucks for this t-shirt, and everybody's supposed to get their t-shirt. So take that with a little bit of not a grain of salt, but just proceed with caution, if you will. Just make sure every single one of your shirts are coming out nice. I mean, you're gonna bugger one or two up, but as long as it's acceptable, like maybe the print wasn't, maybe the shirt wiggled for whatever reason, you need to put a little more tack down or something like that, and it's passable, then I wouldn't worry about it. But I mean, if it's completely burnt or the print's sideways, or there's a lot of situations where the shirt can just not be acceptable whatsoever. So
yeah, but then if you are responsible, you end up paying for a job of $300 canvas.
Yeah, get those proofs approved. So I think at this point it's almost been an hour and we've yet to get to our topic.
Gosh. Okay.
Shannon, let's go ahead and we'll answer these questions later. So today I'm going to go ahead and kick it off. Today was the first day we had our new hire, our graphic designer. Her name is Michelle, and she did a really good job.
I was happy with her.
Shanna's happy with her as well. She didn't. She did what so she's got some pretty great work ethic. She showed up about 15 minutes early. She didn't chat a whole lot, or if any. I think we were trying to get her to chat a little bit, just kind of like, hey, what kind of music do you like? What kind of food? Just trying to get to know her a little bit, trying to break the ice.
She's quiet.
She is. She's quiet, and she picked up things pretty quick. I showed her a couple things that were necessary for her to get the job done. And she is still in the learning phase of everything. So, but even though just kind of walking her through our systems and all that, she was able to take the reins and just kind of run with it.
She's
when
a
you
bright
say
kid.
so.
She picks everything up. I was happy.
And she's got a good eye for she's attention to detail. Her attention to details is pretty awesome.
Well, she's very artistic.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very artistic.
And I think she fits. Honestly, I think she fits in. I'm glad that she is who we brought on, because I do think that she fits in pretty well. Her work ethic is great, and
I was trying to kick her off a computer just so she could go take a break.
Yeah, I kept telling her, I was like, okay, you can take a lunch break anywhere between 12 and 2 o'clock, and take anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, because I know personally I don't really care for the whole you got to be back in 30 minutes thing. Like, sometimes you can't get your lunch and eat by then without rushing, and I think a lunch break, like a proper lunch break, and kind of decompressing and getting
given a half an hour lunch break. It's always been an hour.
Really? I've multiple companies I've worked at have been half an hour, but I would personally take an hour to an hour and 15. because you just kind of need that sometimes to decompress.
Well, I believe it, and I would have liked to do that too, but every time I tried to head towards the futon just to sit down for a second, ring.
Well, we can take shifts.
No, you were busy doing other things, which you did, which I thought was awesome because we caught up so much just in one day.
We did.
And you were out there actually working on the press, and you weren't cussing.
Yeah, I'll definitely say my attitude today with not being as overwhelmed. I felt less anxious. I felt less stressed out. I felt good.
T-shirt chick! Sin! Sorry.
Hey, what's up, T-shirt chick? I felt good about it because I could see the forward progress and weight being lifted off of my shoulders and Shannon's shoulders as well, to an extent. Wouldn't you say, Shannon?
You know what I've always told you, baby. Your state of mind affects my state of mind. Nothing was different for me, like, personally, because I'm still handling all the things I'm always handling. But with you and out there and her in here, and you actually getting stuff done and not, freaking out because you're like at the computer going, I haven't gotten anything done out there. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So
that made it easier for me. Yes.
So what it really comes down to, I think she was a great choice. She did really well for the first day. Kind of like we were saying, the lunch break. Like, I was trying to force her to take a lunch break. I'm like, hey, you need to take a lunch break, but she kept going on.
She did take like 3 of the pecan bars that Angie brought.
Good. I'm glad she did, and she also stayed later. I mean, she practically stayed till about almost
we were starting to set up.
Almost 7 o'clock.
Yeah, we were starting to set up.
It was about 6:45. We closed at 6, and I was like, okay, well, you can wrap this up tomorrow. Not really realizing that she isn't going to be in tomorrow. So she's still in college. She's part-time. So she'll be in a couple, 2 or 3 days this week. And what we're working for and working towards with having her here is growing the business, allowing us some more free time to be able to go out and network, meet some business owners, and perhaps sign up with the Lake Houston Commerce, where a bunch of business individuals do get together and have functions. What those are, I don't know. And it's funny because I was talking to one of our screen printing clients and the fact that, no, that's fine.
Sin wants to know if she got the job.
Sin, you didn't get our email?
Oh, shoot. I forgot to send an email to somebody that's actually probably watching.
What? Anyhow, so it really is allowing us to work towards our goal in having a little more free time to be able to get out and network, to essentially get out and make new business relationships, or even the clients that we do have to connect with them, and to make sure that they're happy, really, and to kind of work with them, see what their expectations are out of our relationship, and see what we can't do to help them grow their business, or what kind of things we can do in order to find a way to, like say for instance, one of our clients, they're not reselling their shirts. It's a nonprofit organization, and they were looking for some way to motivate their staff, or to have some sort of incentive to work harder. And one of that things was, which was their idea, but we kind of helped move them along in a direction towards where there's different things that they could get aside from a t-shirt, like some promotional, like pins or
to be fair,
koozies.
we were really trying to plug our new vendor.
Yeah, but also it's not only that.
Oh, I know that.
It's not just about that, but it's also about making it more exciting for their volunteers to the rewards that they're getting aside from a t-shirt, because they all have T-shirts at this point. Not all of them. They have a high turnaround on volunteers, so perhaps as an incentive to like keep them around. I don't know. Anyhow, so
we keep them around anyways. They love our work.
yeah. So it was great having her here for the day. She'll be back in Wednesday, and it was a lot of help. And even though we're still kind of playing catch up, like I still need to get with some people. Didn't really have the chance because we did have a lot of people come in today that are clients of ours, and Trevor and Angela came in, and it was great, like not feeling rushed to be able to chat with them. And there were some issues that came up with one of the prints we're doing, in which we talked with Angela. And Angela, being one of our contract clients, she's on the same end of things as we are, except she uses her heat press to decorate a few things. But for the most part, we do a lot of the similar things with promotional products and all that. So we were able to talk for a little bit and share vendors that have great pricing and who does good work and all that. And so she picked my brain a little bit, and I picked hers. And so I'd say it was a good day. Tomorrow I'm ready to knock out some jobs. I'm ready to get the press set up and get after it.
All right. Well,
what you got going on there, Shannon? Looking at the
I'm trying to look at 15,000 things.
Are they comments?
Yeah, comments and my fun stuff.
Your fun stuff? Oh, okay. All right, so what are you looking at me like that for? What did I do?
Because you make it sound weird.
That's recognized.
All right.
Give me an attitude. Anyhow, so I'm going to go over here to the chat. Shannon's looking up a couple of things here.
Well, no, I'm trying to get through the chat. Greg, yes, I like Smash Mouth.
So let me go over. I'm going to personally say hello to a few people. Hey, T-shirt chick. I know we said hello, and you know, even when Sin came here, I still call her T-shirt chick.
Shit out of me. She walks in, and I'm like, "Oh God, there's a camera. I'm not wearing makeup."
Oh, I know. But I mean, I'm happy she stopped by. That was really cool. A pleasant surprise. Really cool. And by the way, Sin, I do plan on putting up the small little portion of video that I recorded, but I think I'm going to include that in a video about our intern if she's comfortable getting not intern. Our graphic designer. Our graphic designer hire. My bad. Anyways, I'm going to plug that in there because I think that'll be fun. But anyways,
well,
Orange Star, what's up? I haven't said what's up. Twisted Ink, what's going on? David Taylor, Ralph Pena, what's going on? Ryan Winkle, what's up? Scott McClellan. How do you say that? McClellan? Okay, there we go. A little bit of a tongue twister for myself. One Shot Creations, what is going on? Ronnie, what is going on? Sonny, what's going on? Again, if I've already said hello, then what's up? CT Apparel, I know we've chatted a little bit. MYFB, what is going on? We appreciate everybody tuning in. I hope I'm not missing anybody. Let's see who else is here. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody.
You have.
Who did I miss? Indigenous, I know I said hello.
I wanted to ask about an opinion on this, please. I think they're talking about the saturation.
Liberty, what is going on?
Is Liberty there?
Yes, what is going on? He says I got $50 in quarters. I'm not sure what that meant.
Does that mean we get a super chat?
Sin says she still be wanting to say Mikey, and that's absolutely cool with me. You know, I'm used to it at this point, and that was my nickname as a kid. But we're
Yeah, except when
Shannon,
I used to call you Mike, I got in trouble.
Shannon's watching porn. No, but you called me. You didn't call me Mikey or Mike. You. That's a whole nother situation, Shannon. Don't even, because you would call me Mike on a whole nother.
It was an accident.
Accident. I know it was an accident, okay? But my feelings were hurt, so we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about that. And Shannon is over there doing her thing. So if you're not seeing her or weren't seeing her there for a moment, you're just tuning in. There she is. She's over there doing her thing. But I'm going to take a look here at the chat for a moment. You guys are pretty funny. Let's see what's going on here. Scoob is Scooby Doo here? What's going on, Scooby Doo? I don't think I said hello to Scooby Doo. Good to have you. Let's see, almost punk.
Hola, watching porn.
Hola, bonito.
No.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I don't know if I repeated that, but no, she's not a watcher. Okay, she likes to read the articles.
Why do I need anything?
It's the articles is what she goes after. She's not there for the porn. Okay, inside joke with Liberty. Very Scottish. Who's Scott McClellan? Man, I have a Clellan. Scott McClellan. I think it's the C. That doing the extra C is and then there's the 3 L's. McClellan. I have to slow that one down. Anyhow, grandson and grandma. I'm not sure what you guys are talking about there, but
Ryan lost his template that he bought.
What?
Yeah.
Ryan, you lost your template. Tell you what, email me and I'll shoot that right over to you. Not a big deal if you lost it, and I'll send it over to you. Speaking of, I've got something coming up here soon. Is a template. Let me switch it out. Okay, we got both of us on there. I do plan on putting up a approval template, a couple of them up there for you guys if you want to go and grab that. It won't be free, and the only reason is I'm sure I'll get questions about it, but also it will just help support the channel because after all, I mean, as I've said before, I enjoy doing what we do here because we love it, but if we didn't make a little something for our time, then we would really wouldn't have time for it. So it just kind of funds the nonprofit organization. Trust me, we're not making. I still drive a 2012 Chevy Cruze, so that's that. Let's see. Anything else, Shannon?
Yes, David Taylor wanted us to touch on the market saturation.
The market saturation as far as screen printers go?
To get to this thing I promised. Yes.
As far as screen printers go?
Yes, sir.
I would say that even though there are quite a bit of screen printers, that there's enough to go around for everybody. So I wouldn't worry about market saturation. There's always a way to find people that have never bought t-shirts before and to get them into the buying t-shirts. I'll say one of the things that's great about the screen printing market is most everybody has a t-shirt in their closet with some sort of print, whether they've actually gone out and have had their own custom prints done. You just got to kind of find a way to entice them into buying it. Finding some sort of way to make it whether it be some sort of memorable thing that kind of adds to their experience, whether they're going on some sort of vacation, or it could be your kids baptism, or whatever the case may be. I mean,
Yeah.
some sort of little momentum, the memento to take home. What were you laughing at? Because I was like one of those people that never bought
No,
anything.
no. I was laughing remembering when you first started introducing me to everything, and the way you introduced me to a Gildan soft style ladies cut. You were like, you took and cause I didn't know it was a Gildan soft style ladies cut at the time. You're like, hey, look, Gildan, and on my on the T-shirt I bought at an anime convention.
Oh yeah, so
I love that shirt so much.
that's one of the curses of being a screen printer, because then you're analyzing everything.
But it's like one of my favorite shirts, and it was a memento of a great time, and
Yeah, see,
everyone
so there
needs
you go.
shirts because I love that shirt. It's a narwhal with an ice cream cone stuck to its head.
So I think one of the things, and the point of all that is the fact that you just got to kind of like find your niche, and find what you're good at, and make that kind of really sell your strong points, and it'll work out for you. For all you know, your company might blow up, and a lot of it does also depend on who you know. I mean, there's guys that have been in it as long as I have, and they have a shop that is, they have many automatic presses. I think for us, I love the pace that we're going at, because we're still learning, and I'd hate to like blow up too fast and then make some mistakes that would ultimately put us out of business. So we're still in that comfortable position towards where it's like, when we took a hit on close to, well, actually it was over 200 shirts, taking a hit on that, it's kind of like, okay, it set us back a little bit, but it's not going to put us under. But if we had an order where it was like a couple, 2 or 3 thousand shirts, and we had to eat that, and that could definitely put us in a situation where it'd be hard making ends meet. But
Okay.
so just to wrap that up before we get out of here, I know there probably might be a couple more questions, but we're going to wrap it up here soon.
Yes, sir.
Is sure there's a market. You just got to kind of tap into that market and kind of sell on your value. Even if you can just do a better job than the guy down the road that's doing them for cheap, his customer service might be crap, or the printing might be awful.
Sorry.
I mean, just find some sort of way you can kind of bring value to someone that might even already have a screen printer. Maybe you get along better.
Ooh. Waldo took a hit on 300 hoodies.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that didn't set you back too much, because I know we all know those bigger orders, when you do take that hit, just how much it can affect you.
Yeah.
Not
But
only
now we have 200 plus Bella Canvas test prints shirts.
yeah. So I mean, we try to find the silver lining in it, but also try to not let it affect us kind of mentally up here, as in, because I know at times when stuff like that does happen, I'm just kind of like, God, man, I'm not. What am I even doing? I'm not good at this. I'm not cut out for this. And sometimes I just got to let it flow through me, and then kind of get that positive mental state back. But
I help with that.
she does. Having a good support system also helps.
And just remember, bunnies give kisses, Apollo gives puppy snuffles, and cows have best friends, and everybody poops.
See that might work for y'all. And like I tell Shannon, sometimes it's like it can be hard to let go of something that crappy that happens in the bunny give kisses kind of thing. Like it's for that to actually be funny and enjoyable. But
it's just a happy thought to have. That's how I handle it.
yeah, I'll say that and bringing this back up again, having the intern on board, having some more help. Our part-time employee, our graphic designer, excuse me.
I keep wanting to say intern too. It's okay.
So, anyways, having our part-timer here and freeing up some more time for us, I'm excited about that. So we're not working those long, crazy nights.
Okay, just 2 more questions, then I'm going to follow up with a joke.
Okay.
Or three. I'm
okay.
No, but I'm going to answer them though, because I'll just give.
Okay.
Okay. David,
all right, go for it there.
You absolutely need a website. That's crucial to any business. You really need it. Waldo, ouch, that sucks.
What happened?
He was walking funny for a few days after the 300 hit.
Oh.
He was walking funny. So
yeah, I get it. Do you get it? Welcome to the Barney Show.
You kidding? I'm just a naive little princess. I have no idea about any of those jokes. House of Beats. Matt has been in the industry since 2013. That's when he started.
2012 technically, but official on paper.
Official on paper. 2013. Messaging a few bands that you don't know probably might make you a little bit of a spanner. What I would suggest is actually going to one of their shows and handing them cards instead. It's a more personal thing. It's getting your face out there and it's showing like more initiative, because you will probably come off as just like a spammer.
Right. So I would say that to kind of follow that up, I didn't read the question, but find a market that you're truly interested in. Like, say, for instance, if you're into cars, maybe go hang out at some car clubs or something.
Right, yeah. Well, what he was saying is he was thinking about just emailing a couple bands in his area.
And are you doing that or wanting to do that just because that's something you've heard in the past, as the email bands, because they seem like a good market to go after? Like for myself personally, it wouldn't be too bad of an idea, because of the fact that I play music and I've played in the cover band scene, the tribute band scene. I've played in the original band scene, and having that connection a lot of times of playing music, having some sort of way to connect with them, I think will also help. Go ahead, Shannon. What were you going to say?
Oh, sorry. I thought that he was replying to that, but it was Jason. Jason was a touring drummer. Bands are cool. Hit them up.
Sweet. Yeah, I remember.
Hit them. No, I'm absolutely saying hit them up. But if you don't want to go to like straight to junk, most likely your best approach would be just personally going out to them as they're playing a gig, being like, "Hey, I think you're really great. I would love to make your shirts."
Or even if they're not selling shirts, to kind of get them on board with the idea of, because bands, I'll say most bands don't make a lot of money. It's hard making a living as a musician, and so to be able to provide like a solution to them, a way to make some extra money selling t-shirts, or even coming up with a cool design that they're excited about, their fan base is excited about, that's a great way to kind of get your foot in the door and to get repeat orders.
Right, but what I'm trying to say though is, instead of like maybe emailing, it's psychology 101. Hit them on the gig night when they're on a high of just adrenaline, and they're going to be more open to listening to you because they're in such a good mood.
Yeah.
So hit them when they're feeling really, really good, and then they'll be like, "Whoa, this guy's awesome!" And then they'll remember you after that, and that's when you can start, talking to them. But the face-to-face approach is going to be way more memorable than just an email in the bank email account. I'm so tired.
Yeah. So like even if they're kind of riding that high of, like, let's say for instance they put on a killer show, they have a bunch of fans or people interacting with them that really like their music, and that could be a way of kind of pitching the idea of, if they're not selling shirts, that,
Yeah.
hey, I mean, you see these people here, they're your supporters. They want to support you. And one of the ways that musicians are supported are with merch sales, album sales, which album sales are kind of hardly a thing these days, single sales and all that. Merch and touring and all that is pretty huge. So try and tap into that. Tap into that.
Hi, Waldo. Missed you. Haven't seen you in a while. Sort of. Haven't seen your icon handle.
Love the videos you've been posting, by the way, Waldo. I see everyone.
Thank you. All right, so I think we're just about. Waldo suggests selling them drugs because they love them also.
Yeah, come up with the package deal. Get a free joint with a T-shirt. I don't recommend that. Do not do that. Whatever we say on here, I do not. Don't hold us to it, especially the drug comment. So, kids, don't do drugs. No, y'all don't do drugs either. Nobody. Don't do the drugs. They're bad for you. Drugs are bad, okay?
I'm pro 420.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see. I mean, it's.
Buy Impossible.
I don't see anything wrong with it. I personally don't smoke, but did for a long time when I was younger, and I don't know. That's a whole nother topic.
Jason had a typo that's funny.
Oh yeah, what was it?
All the 15 to 20 bands I've been in, only 2 were druggies. I got licky.
Yeah, I've seen some people just do some stupid stuff. None of them were really addicts whatsoever, but we enjoyed we enjoyed having a good time, and I think sometimes that can get the good times can get a little excessive. So you just got to be careful.
Okay, the one question I promised that I would answer.
Okay, hold on. Go for it, Shannon.
I'm hungry. I haven't eaten in 2 days.
I am too. I'm starting to get a little
2
shaky.
days. I haven't eaten in 2 days.
I
thought I was getting ham.
You ate. It's just you haven't had a proper meal. We're gonna make sure.
What did I eat?
You had part of a steak, mashed potatoes, green beans.
It was great. Anyways. Okay, so I had some green beans and mashed potatoes. That's what I've eaten in 2 days.
Okay. So you said a question?
Yes.
All right, this is going to be the last one.
Yeah, the last one. Sorry, guys. It's carrying on way too late. And I promised this guy, he called earlier, and I said that if Matt couldn't get to it, I would have him answer it on the show. So Brandon is going from Illustrator to AccuRip to print, but the black ink isn't printing. It's just gray, and basically all his halftones look almost translucent.
Okay, so the first thing I would do in that case is I would do a test print. I would go into AccuRip, go to your settings, and I would do a test print, allow it to go through an 8.5 by 11 sheet. Take a look at the density of each one of them. Go through and adjust AccuRip. And I'm going to do a screenshot here real quick. I'm going to put my desktop web capture here. I'm going to fire up good old AccuRip. And I'll show you some of the things, because just off the top of my head, I'd rather just demonstrate it here and show you some of the settings that you can fool around with. But some of the things you might want to check as well is actually what the make sure your printer is actually printing properly. None of the nozzles are clogged up. You want to check that first, and then you can go over here to edit configure, do a test print. So that's the first thing you're going to want to do. You'll want to do a droplet weight density test print, and those things will tell you a few things, especially the droplet weight test print. So you want to be able to hold that up to the light, and for the most part, you do want to completely block out all the light. It's acceptable if a little bit's coming through, but it's looking really dense. So if you were to print out a pair of sunshades with your onto your film and put them on, you should be able, and I don't recommend this, but you should be able to block out quite a bit of sunlight, almost to the point towards where you could look up at the sun and there not be any issue. I don't recommend you doing that. Just look up at a light in your house, your shop, wherever the case may be, and just make sure no light's coming through. The weight density test print will actually allow you to kind of choose the density towards where you're putting down just enough ink but not putting down too much, because you get to the point towards where you're putting down too much ink and your print is bleeding out. You can also get a little bit of a haze around your print if you're putting down too much ink. And then there's also a point where you're just wasting ink. You're putting too much down. So you got to find that sweet spot, and what will help you is that test print. And then just go in there and let's see, here we go. So just go in there. Once you have your test print, you can go in there and choose your proper settings. I tend to like to keep mine on 720 by 720, but have a higher weight, droplet weight. I was using the 1440 by 720 for quite some time at a 6 weight droplet weight, and that worked really well. But at that higher resolution, your printer's printing slowly. It's printing slower. So I found this to work pretty well for myself at 720 at 12, and it prints the film out faster, but it also gives you just dense enough, at least for my setup. It gives you enough of a dense enough of a film. The last thing I'm going to say is, if you are using a printer that still has all the other colors, just make sure that you have this set up towards where instead of it being an all black system, you would have that deselected, so that way you're just using the black out of your black cartridge. So those are my tips on what you should do, and that should get you to where you need to be.
Okay, and I think we're gonna be done for the night. First, I just want to say, guys, I am or dudettes, broettes, I am so sorry that it's such a male saturated thing. Oh, everyone keeps assuming Scooby is a Scoob-Doo is a
broettes
is a guy, and I made the same mistake with Inksational.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. We keep assuming everyone's a dude, and that's why it was kind of weird for me to come on.
But Shannon's going to change that by her being on, and I really mean this, by you being on, Shannon. I think it does help a lot of females out there see that they're not the only ones out there, and there's plenty of women in the screen printing industry.
Right. No, I get that.
And we need more of them.
I guess it's just mostly it's an interaction between men. But you know, if my uncomfortableness can help women come out,
you don't
and speak out. Sin's like pretty much like Sin and Kelly are the only ones I really know.
Right, and Sin is an icon when it comes to, or an idol, I would say, when it comes to women in screen printing, because she's out there, she's pulling the squeegees, and I think it's great motivation for women to see that they can do it, even though Sin is she's a veteran, and she knows her stuff quite well, and I know she's quite the athlete. I know screen printing can be a little tough on the body. But I mean, even if you're not necessarily the kind of person that has played sports, it's still very much easy to get into, and it's not. It has its learning curves, but don't feel intimidated by pulling a squeegee or getting in there and getting your hands dirty.
It's probably more effective than yoga. Anyway, so my screen has crashed, so I can't read anything else.
Okay, that's the computer telling you that we're getting out of here.
And it won't show me anything else.
Scooby Doo says I'm a 6'1" black woman, so watch out. Go get him, Scooby Doo.
You can kick my ass.
Yeah, so you're 6'1", man.
Of course, I'm not really a screen printer. I just like to think of myself as a little screen printing mascot.
I like to think of myself as a 6'1" black woman. So
please don't anyone take offense to the fact that I really don't like thinking of you like that.
Don't say. What'd you say, Shannon?
Please don't anyone take offense to this, but I really don't like thinking of you as like that. I like to give you like.
Oh well, you like thinking of me for me, of course, goofball.
Anyways,
so
I can't read anything, and we do need to go. It's 8:30. We're already over. I'm so hungry, and I have jokes.
So Shannon's got a joke.
I've got 2 jokes, not 1, but 2.
She has 2 jokes,
and I don't know why they're both snow themed.
Give me one moment, Shannon. I'm going to add something here real quick because you tend to be the closer, and generally my face is in there. So I want to add you just real quick. It's only going to take a moment.
I'm going to close up with my face. Yeah.
Yeah, but so we're going to close out with Shannon doing this, but just give me one moment so I can get her in here into the closing screen so she can close this broadcast out. Okay, cool. We are set. Okay. There we go. So now you're not looking at me while she reads off this jokes, and go for it.
All right. So, these are interactive. Matt.
Yo.
How do penguins build their house?
I don't know how.
It glues together.
Oh my lord! Use your dad jokes.
I like my dad jokes. Okay.
What else you got? What
else? The snowman
wait, hold on. What else do you have in your fanny pack? Go ahead and dig them out.
My backpack, thank you. What one snowman say to the other?
What?
Hey, do you smell carrots?
I like that. All right, gang. Well, it's been fun. So we're going to get out of here. I am hungry, tired, and it's been fun as always. And we will see y'all next time. Shannon, you want to do a peace out?
Peace out. Love you guys. Seriously.
All right. See y'all later.